Oh, hi! This week, I'm going to show you how to make a little side leg slit at the bottom cuff of a pair of pants, which is an alteration I often do at one of my part-time jobs, which is a uniform store. I do it on like nurse scrubs a lot, and it seems helpful to like fit over shoes, or if like these capris that I kind of have trouble pulling them up all of the way now that I took the legs in, because I don't think of myself as an in-shape person. I don't have much in the way of muscles, but I do ride a bike a lot, so I have built more calf muscles than I give myself credit for. And my hope is that if you have some pants that are a little tight around the bottom but fit the rest of your legs, this could be a good solution to help them fit a little bit more comfortably. Now I can get these on and wear them okay, but I can't quite pull them up as much as I would ideally have them. And the last time I tried to just force it, I popped some stitches in the inner thigh seam. So my first course of action is just to restitch that little section there. I was really honking those things up and it did not want to go. So the first step for actually making a regular pants bottom cuff into this slit is to unpick the hem. I just decided to redo the entire hem because it's a small area, but you can just unpick a couple inches either side of the seam. And we're only doing the outer leg seam, not the inner inseam seam. Although I suppose you could do both the inner and the outer. I've definitely seen that on like cigarette pants. And yes, if anybody cares, I am team skinny jeans because I have a death grip on the clothing that I wore when I was a teenager in high school, as shown by wearing a shirt I literally bought when I was 16. So, you know, just let us millennials have some joy in our lives. Okay, once the hem was unpicked and unrolled, I typically make a slit 2 to 3 inches up the pant leg. Now I'm going from the very bottom of the unrolled cuff and not from where the original cuff was, but keep that in mind. This is going to get rolled up again, so it's going to shorten the length of the slit. So I just marked up 3 inches from the very bottom, put a little pin right there. I don't know why I said little pin. This is the longest and chunkiest pin that I own. Then I unpicked that outer leg seam to the pin mark. And then before I did anything else, I did almost like a little bar tack. Like I reinforced the side seam so it didn't continue to undo itself. Doing that before I unpicked the seam also would have been fine and would have given a good stopping point and mark to unpick up into. Oh boy, can you tell I'm a little discombobulated today? Yesterday was Halloween. I did Halloween stuff Saturday and Sunday. I got to see some of my dearest friends and it was super lovely, but I did stay up very late doing spooky stuff and then had to drive home 2 hours this morning. So I'm pleasantly exhausted, but I still really felt like doing this project today because I want to wear these leggings and there seems to like continually be something else that I need to tweak on them to like make them very comfortable. Hopefully this is it though. So yes, once I did my little bar tack, I took those raw edges, like the 3 inches either side, and folded those in 1/4 inch twice. So it was a total of a 1/2 inch seam allowance being taken up because the original pants seam that I unpicked was a 1/2 inch wide. Does that make sense? So if you do 1/4 inch twice, so I just did a row of top stitching on each side. And then if you can believe it, we're at the last step, which is just to rehem that bottom cuff. I just went over with nice long stitch, tacked that back down, made sure that the edges that got folded up for the hem were kind of hidden away so nothing was sticking out. And there we have it. These are finally giving me the effect I was hoping for, which is still super fitted to my legs, but I can pull up pretty easily and I'm not in trouble of popping any stitches anymore. There's no calf bottleneck happening anymore. And yeah, another super quick project. It's an alteration I often do for people, so I thought that would translate well to a video and help you out a little bit. And speaking of help, it is because of everyone over on my Patreon that I get to bring this kind of stuff to you. They're the ones allowing me to take the time to practice this stuff and share the little bits of knowledge that I pick up throughout my sewing journey, and I get to continue getting better at things. I'm off to do some much needed post-Halloween laundry and wig maintenance. I hope you all had a lovely Halloween. I had an absolute blast putting those last minute costumes together. I will see you next Friday with another video. Thank you so much for hanging out.